Good evening, everyone. Happy Monday and welcome to the Tilton Talk Show. I'm Paul Hipkiss and tonight I'm joined by the selfie seeker himself, Mark Adams.
Hello, everybody. You okay? 12 miles away then.
It's Coronation Street.
Evening all.
Claire Giblin.
Evening.
Craig Courtney.
Good evening.
Alan Watton, the chairman.
Good evening, everyone.
And last but not least, Chris Browne, the main man on the buttons.
Good evening. Nicely timed, Paul.
So what we're going to talk about tonight then?
What
do we say? Wow, what a time to be a Blues fan. It's just, I think for me on Friday, it's just hit home where we're actually at and where we're going, you know what I mean? With this signing on Friday, Jay Stanfield, and the other two players we signed as well, obviously Scott Wright and, is it what's his name, the guy from Celtic?
The Water.
Yeah.
Water.
Yeah, so we've signed three players. Yeah, it's just special times now, and it's so exciting, isn't it? And obviously we'll talk about Fulham and the game on Saturday in a minute as well. But I just want to start, with probably the best transfer window ever, and 17 players signed, and obviously the cherry on the cake, late, in the 11th hour, if you like, at the last minute, Jay Stansfield gets done, and it was just amazing, wasn't it, Claire? What were you thinking on Friday when it was eventually announced officially?
Well, there's been plenty of times where me and my brother over the years have watched Deadline Day with, lots of the Blues coming out. We're not going to sign anyone today, or it's a free or a loan. And the fact that, the transfer window has been superb. So fair play to Craig Gardner because he's managed to get all these players in. I just think that it was really nice that there was something, we knew something was going to happen. We didn't know that all three of them were going to turn up, but I think, Wright turned up from Rangers. The Iwata, I read some of the Celtic quotes and Celtic fans are gutted of losing him. So he must be a decent player.
Yeah.
And then the Jay Stanfield scenario has been going on for weeks and weeks and weeks. And, he scores against us and we've had, where people clapped and then people didn't know how to react to him and he didn't celebrate. And there was something there. You just knew there was something there. And the fact that I've never been on my phone so much over X, like looking, seeing what was going on. But then the announcement and how it happened was just brilliant. It's a shame, really, because Fulham literally put out something, I think, 2 minutes before. And I think the Wagner thing was brilliant. Well done by the social media team as well. But really pleased. He did want to stay when he was at the awards and he's just going to be loved. He just, unfortunately, now there's so much pressure on him. So much pressure. So hopefully he can use that and use it to his ability. But we've got him for another 7 years. So let's see what Jay can do.
Yeah. And is it fair to say as well, Mark Adams, I know I mentioned obviously relegation and it happened for a reason. And if we hadn't have gone down, we wouldn't be able to spend all this money, would we, in the Championship?
No, it sounds like a cliche, but it's the old reset button, isn't it? And we've hit the reset button and wow, it's almost like you take going down to get all this. Going back to what Claire said, the announcement of Jay, it was so good the way that they announced him. And like we were saying before we came on air, like to actually see Jay come out on Saturday and the way he went around the pitch is like, wow. The feel-good factor and everything else that goes with it. Absolutely stunning. And this is alien territory for us. This is like going into the unknown. This is the glimpse of the future. We just want more of it, don't you? Because this is just on another planet. And I remember Gary Cook said at the end of last season, didn't he? He said the comeback would be better than the setback, greater than the setback. And fair play, they're living up to the words because at the minute we can't fault them.
No, not at all. I've got to say as well, the overall match day experience has gone up tenfold, hasn't it, from last season? You got DJs outside, you got tunes going in the box-to-box bar in my area where I go in the car. And then, well, not my area, but that area where we go, the entrance that I go in and the box-to-box bar. You got tunes pumping out of there and then you've got, the DJ in the main stadium and, you know, it's just he just gets everyone well up for it, doesn't it? And the atmosphere is just electric, you know, every game. And you know, if we've got more of that to come all season, which I'm sure we will have, and then going into next season as well, it's just going to be.
Sorry, Paul. I was going to say my cousin Stuart and his wife Kathy are over from Australia, and they came over last summer. They went to the Millwall game last summer, and I did say to him, I said, even in the space of a year, I said you'll notice a massive difference. And after the game, like they were in the cup, and we met up afterwards, and he said, he said that was just considering it's only been 12 months. He said that, you know, the strides that we've taken, it's just absolutely superb. Yeah. And I think this is just the beginning as well. I really do. You know, I just think, you know, we are going to go up this season. I don't think there's any doubt about that. When we do, I just think, you know, next season then we'll be looking to sort of, you know, go to the next level then in the Championship from where we've been for a long time. But yeah, Craig, talk us through your sort of evening on Friday in the transfer window, and then talk us through your day on Saturday as well for the game. And we'll get into the game in more detail in a minute, but talk to us about Friday first.
I mean, Friday, first full day back in Blighty. So, you know, for me, it was just getting things sorted back from what we've missed over the past fortnight. But, you know, it was TV on, and TV on at midday, Sky Sports News, and he didn't budge. And then when it came to the evening, I actually had family members round who we normally have different things on in the kitchen on the TV, but this time it was Sky Sports News, and that's the way it stayed. But it was, I think you said it at the beginning, but it's just unreal for us as Birmingham fans to go through what we went through. And you know, to put this into perspective, Liverpool spent less on their striker than we have on ours.
Yeah.
And that, you never, ever would have thought, number one, we would be able to say that, and number two, that we would say it in the league that we're in. But, you know, just to also put it into perspective, I don't think we've even touched the sides of the amount of money we could have spent. You know, when we look at the additional revenue and things that are still to be calculated into our figures, I really do believe we could have spent more, and actually come January, we might. It's actually quite scary. I saw some figures earlier on and some stats around the, you know, what you would class as our first 11 and then our second 11. Do you know what? Our second 11 is equally strong and could win this league. It's the first time in, well, I don't know how long that we can actually say our squad is that strong that we can field a second string and not have any concerns. I mean, going into Saturday, the atmosphere was buzzing again around the ground. First of all, fair play to the club. They've listened to some of the feedback around the amount of segregation between fans. So they moved those barriers so that we can have some extra seats going on sale. Shame it was done so late. You know, so lesson learned there. Perhaps moving into these other games, we will have an opportunity. But yet again, front of the Kop, heaving, brilliant scouts going to the Ball and Globe, self-service, absolutely superb, and nothing but positives around that area. You know, a few glitches around season ticket entrance again at the ground, but it's to be expected with something new. But like you say, Paul, you know, everywhere you go, you've got a DJ. So Kop Corner, you go in, there's a DJ inside. You go inside the grounds, you've got the DJ. There's big screens. What a massive difference they made, actually, you know, being able to play videos and the camera angles of the replays and stuff like that. The only thing for me, please, Blues, you know, and if people are listening, don't put up a massive goal sign when the opponents score, you know. Yeah, just flash the word goal. That'll be enough.
As soon as that happened, I messaged the Men's Matters group and I went, don't like that. The fact that they've got the same goal thing as us. Yeah. So don't worry. I've hinted at that.
Yeah. For me, I mean, seeing Tony Mowbray there on Saturday as well was
brilliant.
Put a lump in my throat. And then, you know, I've never really felt this as a Blues fan. Like when Jay Stansfield comes out on the pitch, you know, before kickoff, it was just so special, wasn't it? It's like, geez, you know, we're witnessing our first double-figure £1 million signing here. You know, 15 million if what they said on Sky Sports, wasn't it? I don't know exactly the exact figure, but I think it was 15 with plus add-ons, wasn't it? But Alan, was you there Saturday, mate? And
I was there, sitting in my old seat in the rotten main stand, still peeing in a trough.
You've got to stop doing that, Al.
Yeah. I'd wait till you get to the toilet.
The only thing that's changed is there's no turnstile operators. You put your doodah over the thing and you go in, which worked first time, no problem.
You got your season ticket now, then? Yeah, your cards come through.
I've got that. The only thing that has improved from my matchday experience is because there's all this stuff outside, you can go into the bar at 2:15 and there's nobody there. And, you can get a drink easily and whatever. And all the staff, I said to the guy who served me, I said, every one of these people is new, aren't they? And he said, yeah. And they were very efficient. The last lot were useless, but these lot were spot on. And it was a more pleasant experience. I mean, I hadn't had a lick of paint on that main stand at all. But it still was a better experience than it was last year. And still the seat that I've sat next to for 6 years now still wasn't empty. It still wasn't full. Nobody's ever sat in that seat other than people I've taken, and I bought a seat from somewhere else and sat them there because nobody has ever sat in it. So where all these 18,000 season tickets are, this one's empty. And there was 3 seats empty along me, and it's all season ticket holders there.
Yeah.
So, but it was, I'm an old git, and I don't like the noise. I couldn't speak to the person next to me when before the game. It was rattling out, deafening, and I just couldn't speak to anybody, and it annoys me, But I don't think much of the fan park at the front. I saw Claire there, and it's a fan park, not my cup of tea. But I have now got the option. If I do want a drink or a bite to eat, I can go to the old place, which used to be packed to the door, and it's relatively easy to get served. So, that benefit, not for me, but my benefit has been passed on in another area because it's more likely loaded.
I think it filters down, though, doesn't it? They've opened these areas now on a match day. People are getting to the stadium. Some of them
I was there at 1. I was there at 1 and it was packed.
Yeah. So that's bringing more revenue into the club.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
They've improved all the hospitality and, what they're doing to make the club more money is, I'm going to say, it's world class. It really is. What they're doing off the field there is world class to bring money and revenue into the club, to make the money to be able to buy players like Jay Stansfield.
Absolutely.
And without that,
couldn't agree more.
Yeah, without that, we wouldn't. Without.
Sorry, but I say, and that's why I looked at it and I thought, look at all these people spending their money.
Yeah.
And as you say, that's paid for Jay Stansfield.
Yep.
It's not money made on the gate; it's the money made in food and drink. And I'm all, I hold my hands up to the owners and say, you said you were going to come up with revenue streams, and you've done it, and well done.
Oh, they know what they're doing, definitely.
Let's not forget the main fan park isn't even open yet. That doesn't open until the Wrexham game. So when we look at the COP and the amount of people that have been in there and using those areas, yes, there's going to be a natural move with people across into the main.
Oh,
but what you're also going to see is then more people, I think, just coming back up to the ground. This is just the early stages for me of outside the ground. I can only see it getting busier, and there's a lot of suggestions coming out. And one thing I just do want to raise nice and early, really, is the trains at Bawdsley Station were not very good on Saturday. For any of our listeners, that has been reported and is being looked at. But also, if West Midlands trains can work with the club a little bit more and have more trains stopping at Bawdsley, then the amount of people spending money at the ground is only going to get greater. because at the moment, you go any earlier than like 2 o'clock and you've got to travel to Moore Street and you've got a half an hour walk with your kids from Moore Street up to the ground. Now, if that half an hour is given back and we can stop a train earlier, get into the ground earlier, that's 30 minutes worth of more spend that people are going to put forward. So again, it's increased revenue. Gary Cook has been amazing, absolutely amazing, and huge credit to everything that he has done. But also, I've got to put out there a name that isn't mentioned very often, and that's Jeremy Dale.
Yeah.
And without that guy, we wouldn't have our owners. He was the
nothing would happen. None of this would happen. No, but it's going to be interesting to see, obviously, when the weather turns and we hit winter and it's -5 or -6 on a Tuesday night. How are they going to do this then? Because obviously, no one's going to want to get soaked. No one's going to want to freeze to death. So I don't know how they're going to do this then. We need some sort of heaters out there, shelters.
Let me know, Paul, and I'll put it out there. So if anyone does have any ideas, let me know. I've got a meeting in the next couple of weeks, so
good idea.
We are getting all the information as well to put it out there. It's going to be a long meeting because we're talking about trains, we're talking about the winter coming up and things like that. So anything, just let me know. Yeah,
I think it would be good if we could continue to do it throughout the winter, throughout the bad weather months as well. But obviously, people won't be segregating outside in the car park like that when it's pouring down and it's -5.
Freezing.
I know. That's some roof to build, isn't it?
It started raining last Tuesday before the Fulham game, and I'm thinking, Jesus, the DJ's going to get electrocuted here.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mark Meredith, let's get into the football then, mate. So let's start with Fulham. So Fulham, I thought we'd give them a good game, didn't we? And, it was a dubious penalty decision, weren't it, on Cochrane? What did you think?
Yeah. Firstly, I thought we were the better team. I really did through the 90 minutes. Was always going to get that Stansfield goal against us. So that obviously came as the second.
Yeah.
The first one, it's one of those things. Like, I blame the rule more than I blame the referee on that. Just the rule is just crazy. You can't defend with your hands behind your back.
No.
So the fact that everyone's going to do that now just because they don't want to get the ball to hit them is really bad. And you could see what he was doing. He was sliding to make a block. It wasn't like he was any sort of, deliberate movement to the ball at any point apart from sliding to try and block a shot, which is, a defender's job. Yeah. So, I blame the rule more on that one, but I thought there was positives. I think the only, probably the only negative is that we didn't finish one of our chances and get a goal because I think we really did deserve at least one.
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody would have walked away disappointed on how they played on Tuesday. No. And in the end, it was a cup game, so I wasn't too disappointed about the result either because I thought, let's concentrate on the league and really push for that. And obviously we had Friday. And just on that, before we go back into the games, full credit to Craig Gardner and Wagner and Brady and people like that. If we'd have got relegated under the old chairman, then I think we'd have been more like administration than anything. So it's a massive change in just a couple of years. But what we've got to understand is going into games, I keep listening to two sides of it. One side saying, we're going to be 100 points, 100 goals, it's going to be easy. I got another one saying we're not happy with the performances, we're not happy with this. But the biggest thing for me is when spending that money and when bringing those players in, we've got 17 new players, we've got a new manager. It's going to take patience on both sides. We ain't going to be excellent every week. We're not going to play the football every week that everybody wants them to play. But the biggest thing for us is getting the results. And we're 4 games in now, and we've got 4 good results. And so, it's only really the Reading one that we expected when we went in, maybe to get 3 points. But we got 1 out of it and done well to do that. Apart from that, we got 3 wins on the bounce in the league. And again, Saturday, we did what true champions need to do. And ground out a result at the end that, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty at all. It's probably one of our worst performances in the 4 games that we've played in the second half. First half, we looked fantastic. I thought we could have scored 4 or 5. Second half, we just went a little bit sour. I don't know if they started to tire a little bit. Wigan came back into the game. Goalkeeping error for the goal. And again, that's another talking point. I still like both goalkeepers, so there's an argument there on who you play. But to be fair, you get someone like Scott Wright coming up, and I'm glad he scored because I think him and the Celtic boy went a little bit under the radar on Friday.
Yeah,
and
they did.
you probably forgot until Wright came on the field. Probably forgot he was even there. So the fact that he was in the right place, and let's talk about Clara's assist for that. I think
what a back heel.
Every time I see Clara get the ball, I think it's Mark Roberts with his blonde hair. But then when he starts actually playing, I realise it's not.
He's definitely a good player, strong, can play.
Yeah.
And he meant that. He meant the back heel. He wasn't just putting that into space. He knew exactly where Wright was, and it was at the end. I know it was a tap in, but it was a good finish. He had to beat the goalkeeper and the defender on the line, and from that, so
I think for me, compared to last season under Chris Davies, now we're a lot less passive in games. When we haven't got the ball, we're not giving the opposition a second with it. Whereas last season, before you know it, an hour and like 80 minutes has gone, and oh God, we've got to win this. It's 0-0. There's 10 minutes to go, and what's happened in this game? Absolutely nothing. And that's what happened at Rotherham. It's what happened at Huddersfield away last season. But now this season, we're and I know it's at a lower level, but even so, I can tell the difference in our identity, if you like, on the way we're playing on the field under this manager. And that's what
I thought. I said that a couple of weeks ago about the difference in the way we want to play, the identity, as you said, and just the philosophy of what he wants to do. It feels like every player on the pitch now, even the subs when they come on, they believe in that, and they believe that that's the right way of doing it. We've not had that for a couple of years where they've really believed in what the managers have given them. And I think, that's the squad he's got now is really believing in how he wants to play. And it's not going to be perfect. Like, I hate the tippy-tappy stuff out of the back. Yeah. But at the end of the day, that's what he's going to do. He's going to play that way. We're going to have mistakes. We're going to get better at it. But I think we've all got to be patient, fans included, to the fact that in this league, we can probably get away with it more this season than we would if we were in the Championship.
Yeah, definitely. But no, I mean, I know we obviously hit the late winner on Saturday, but I just like the way we are without the ball. That's the biggest difference I'm seeing so far. When we haven't got the ball, we're a different team to what we were last season, and we just need to improve with the ball, and that will come in time as the more they play together, the players sort of gel and bed in. We are really going to give someone a good hiding come sort of Christmas time, I think.
I think so.
I also think as well, Paul, I think the one player that doesn't get enough recognition is Pake.
Yeah. Oh, he's up.
I think Pake at the moment is our star player. I think the way that he controls the game in tight spaces, he can get past everybody. I think Hansen was sensational as well. I mean, they're like, I felt sorry for their right back at times because every time he got the ball, he just ran at them. And everyone at the moment is playing to their best of their ability. What we will find is the next 5 games because they are against teams that are going to be up there with us. Yeah. I also think that when we start getting some injuries, I mean, I don't know about Laird. I hope he's okay because I actually thought it was one of his best games Saturday as well. So I just think that all of a sudden we are, we've got another 11, thankfully. Like Samstead came on, played exactly the same. But it's a philosophy, isn't it? And I think everyone's just got to get used to the tippy-tappy out from the back. I mean, I'm 4 games in now, so now I'm like, yeah, it'll be fine. And you can tell people that might not have seen it live because, when you first see it, like, oh. But, I think it's just even the Premier League teams are starting to do it. I mean, Everton, they've been caught out a few times. Southampton have been caught out so many times, and unfortunately, this is the way it's going to be.
Yeah. I think one. Sorry, Craig. No, I was going to say, Chip in. I think one person who didn't get a lot of credit on Saturday was Cochrane. I think Cochrane's been excellent since he signed.
I've said before, he reminds me of Martin Granger. He's like Martin Granger with Simon Marsh's haircut, isn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a great time to be a Blues fan, and who thought we'd ever say that? If you'd have said to us we'd be saying all this now 2 years ago, we'd have just been laughing, wouldn't we? You know what I mean? So we've come so far in such a short space of time, and sometimes you have to actually take a step back and say, well, actually, we have been relegated, but
It don't feel like it, does it?
It doesn't feel like it at all. No,
it doesn't. It feel like we're in the top of the championship.
I was pinching myself Friday watching Sky Sports News, and the reporters saying, we need to now head off to League One to Birmingham City. Why are we talking about them? We only talk about the Premier League on transfer deadline day, and it's like, wow, this is really what these owners have done us in just over 12 months. So, yeah, long may it continue, but yeah, I mean,
just go into some of the stuff on the message board. Sorry, Paula. Some of the comments.
Minute Craig, actually, yeah,
they're echoing, what we've discussed. But I mean, it's he is Michael Woods, and I will say, first of all, Michael Woods, congratulations on 29 years, I believe, of marriage today. Your wife really has, had to put up with you, so I can say that. But no, congratulations. Loving the wedding picture on Facebook, and please do message, is that a Birmingham City tie that I can see you wearing on the day you got married? But going back to the comments, so, people saying we're getting into the last 20 minutes of the game, we're bringing on pace whilst the other teams are tiring. And that's because we have put that high press on them throughout the whole game. That, again, is only going to get better as we go through the season. Warren was a Starling, as I had to say. He has to disagree with some of the comments. This team and individuals has not reached the best of its ability at this present moment. I think couldn't agree more. It's got to get better.
Yeah.
Possession has been mentioned a couple of times. We've said about breaking teams down, but actually the amount of possession we've had, which I think is averaging over 65% now across the games that we've played.
Crazy.
When was the last time that we could say as Birmingham we've ever been in that position to hold that much possession? But this time around, the difference is we're scoring goals. Yes, we're leaking a few, but we are scoring as well. Thanks, Mike. He has confirmed it's not a Birmingham City tie. He thinks it may have been a shot on the day. Also, just to say, Jason couldn't agree more. What's impressive is that we have brought a team for the Championship and not for Division 1.
Absolutely.
And I'd just change one word in that. I wouldn't say team. I'd say squad. I think everybody we've brought in, those 16 players across the window, nobody for me is any weaker than what we've had previously.
No, I think coming back onto what, like you said, Claire, Pake, I mean, he could play the game with a cigar in his mouth, couldn't he? He's that good. He's incredible.
I think so many people have slated him, and they're going, I don't know what games you're watching. The thing is I've seen some comments on here saying we want loads of goals, and they don't shoot enough and things like that. At the end of the day, the exact thing happened against Leyton Orient. We absolutely battered them first half. They picked their game up second half.
Yeah.
There's something about the first 15 minutes of the second half for us that we don't get going again. It's like we want to keep going and going. We have a break, and then the first 15 minutes is a bit cagey. It happened exactly the same at Wigan. So I think we need to look at ourselves and go, okay, that's something we can improve on. But these teams are going to go at us at some point in the games. And what I would love is a clean sheet at the moment. That would be my number one thing. Yeah. But, I mean, against Wrexham, we could have a 5-4 in our hands if it carries on the way we're going.
Yeah. I'm not, as long as we've got more goals in the opposition, it would be nice to clean sheet, but as long as we've got more goals in the opposition, that's all that matters. But just coming back on again to Saturday, there was a moment that I was impressed with, which, again, I'm going to say probably wouldn't have happened last season when Stamstead got absolutely clattered on the sort of touchline by their player. And he was surrounded by about 5 or 6 of our players, as if to say, what are you doing? Kicking off a little bit. And that happened last season a couple of times, and nobody was doing anything, were they?
No, they're left, yeah.
Yeah, Alan, what are your thoughts on that, mate? I mean, they're kind of like fighting for each other now, aren't they? Do you think that's a big difference from last season?
Well, did you see the reaction to the goal?
Crikey, yeah.
In the bench. There was about 20 people run down that touchline. And that was that was noticeable. I mean, we've talked about who's going to play here and who's going to play there, and which, a player's going to get fed up not being in the team, and all this. It doesn't seem to be. It doesn't seem to be the case. The people on the bench, are quite happy to be on the bench as long as they're winning, and of course they want to get on. But there is. I mean, the manager breeds that. I mean, his reaction to the goal, not since Barry. I mean, Barry Fry never jumped that high. It was tremendous, and I'm thinking, this bloke will do for me, because he's wearing his heart on his sleeve. It's not only just a professional thing with him; it's obviously it's more than that now. And it was. We could say, it took us ages to score and blah, 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 blah. We win in the last minute every week. Yeah, people will come back, won't they? Hey, I got back to the station, and I don't remember what, people were talking and whatever. And I got back and looked at the line. I thought, how did I get here? I've made half hour's walk. It felt like no time at all. It was really, really euphoric. And I certainly never felt that for 20 or 30 years, when I'm
the good times. Yeah, the good times are back, mate. They really are, and it's wonderful to say. And Robo was surprised on Saturday as well when Leonard was left out. I thought Gardner Hickman had a decent game, to be fair to him, but for me, when Leonard came on, we just seemed better for me. I think he's just, but he's been one of our best signings, hasn't he?
Yeah, very tidy player, isn't he? Very clever. He knows when to use the ball, when not to, and he hasn't got great pace, but he more than makes up for it with his footballing brain. His again, like I say, you go for the whole squad, and where's the weakness? It sounds cheesy, but when we're on form, like who in that division is going to stop us?
Exactly.
There's just no one on the same planet as us at the minute.
Yeah, but I'm going to come on now to Christophe Clare and Mark Meredith, and I mean, for me, probably the best centre-half I've seen down there since Michael Morrison, maybe. He's fantastic, isn't he? He's got all the attributes, and he's big, he's strong, he's quick, he's good on the ball, he's good off the ball, he's good in the air. He's just got everything, isn't he? I can't fault him in any way, and I can't see Sanderson getting back in, can you?
No, I don't think he will now. And I agree with you. I think, seeing his performances so far, I think, like you said, I think he's got a bit of everything. He can play a little bit as well. He's smart, got a really good footballing brain. Without going too over the top, he's pretty much in like that Virgil van Dijk style defender, isn't he? Where it's a little bit more comfortable in what he's doing. Not saying he's Virgil van Dijk by any means, but you know what I'm saying, in that style. And again, when they signed him, I didn't think he'd ever get in the team. I just at the time when they started with Bellick and Sanderson, I thought he's going to have to be patient and see. And since Sanderson got sent off and he came in, I can't see it changing again this season unless it needs to for any reason. The nice thing about it now is, though, you can also change it around and move Bellick into midfield if you need to at any point. Yeah. So as we talk about with our squad, it's so it looks so healthy from the starting 11 to another probably 10, 11 players on the outside. So yeah. I think he could be a future captain, to be honest with you. I think he's going to start, Alex doing a great job at that, but I think if he stays around, he certainly could be in a candidate for that role.
Yeah, definitely. And this team so far, from what I've seen, and like I said, they haven't gelled yet. It's not the finished article by any means. And the more they play together, the better they're going to get with every game. But I just think we're going to be so well prepared for the championship with a lot of these players as well.
I think if you bring, sorry, Paul, I think if you bring Leonard back in there, I agree totally with you. I thought Hickman had a good game, but I think Leonard was a little bit better when he came on. Yeah. I think if you bring Leonard back in there and then you put Stansfield on the right-hand side instead of what Anderson would have been before he got injured. And I thought Harry struggled a little bit on that position at the weekend. You can clearly see it's not his position. But I think once you do that, I think that's probably your strongest 11 there now with the, obviously with Laird being fit as well. And then Stansfield, May and Hansen as a three up top with Williamson just behind. It's scary for League One, really, isn't it?
Enough.
Really scary to say.
We've still got Buchanan to come back as well.
Yeah. Buchanan as well.
I don't think Buchanan gets in the team right now, even if he's back.
No, I don't think. No.
Beckham's done very well. I really do.
A comment that there's a few coming through on the board at the moment, really, BC, so sorry we can't get to all of them. But Jason Hughes makes a really good point here, and that's actually, fair play to the referee for actually adding the 9 minutes to the end of the game. Because what we've seen across all of the games so far is that teams are trying to slow things down. I'm not saying they're feigning injuries. I never say that somebody is feigning an injury, but it's amazing the amount of people that suddenly get cramp or, the ball's been cleared, I better sit down because I need the people to come onto the pitch. So, yeah, I totally agree.
Right, they did that a couple of years ago, do you remember? And they were awful for it. Wigan are known for it. So fall over and then get back up and run along. No.
That's it.
Can I just say though, Craig, after we scored 10 seconds into it, I didn't want the 9 minutes.
Yeah.
Quickly. Now, if it had been a 99th, it'd been a different thing. But yeah, we scored so early into injury time. It was a long 9 minutes to play after that.
Indeed. And a few others, Anthony Lloyd, I've got to ask the question, right? And I'll ask you to answer to everybody. But it's a few comments, first of all. Clara is decent on the ball but can't defend. Disagree. He was one of the best players on the field on Saturday. And from a defensive point of view, yes, he may have made a mistake which resulted in part of the goal, but let's look at the fact that it was actually a goalkeeping error to let it go through in the first place. So I don't blame Clara for that one little bit. As for the team, not being anywhere near championship level, let's also put into perspective, 16 new squad players. We are 5 games into the season. They have not gelled. When this team does gel, Paul's already covered it. Somebody's going to take a pasting. Yeah. And it'll be more than once. So give this team chance. Let's stop with this negativity. We are not going to be world beaters 5 games into the season, and nobody should expect that. Do you know what? If we scrape results, we're getting 3 points on the board. What does it matter? All we're interested in, let's face it, is getting out the league. And if we do see a team take a pasting, great. But it's not going to happen now. And finally, the other one that I just want to cover off, Wrexham are by far the best team in the league. But Wrexham, as a team, have been together for 3 seasons now. That squad has been together and hardly changed. Therefore, I would expect them to be more gelled together and looking and standing out that little bit more in the league. But can they last the season? That's the million-dollar question. They will be there or thereabouts. They are going to be one of those teams competing with us. But are we better than them? Yes. Is our second team better than them? Yes. So, sorry, but, come back to all of us. Prove us wrong. Show us why you think it is that the team isn't in those areas and in that stature, because I think there'll be a few people that will disagree. And then finally, sorry, Mark, just the last one before I go into it. The last comment I want to put is that, we look at everything that's gone on over the past few weeks, and we've made changes to every single game. There's been questions asked about whether the goalkeeper should change going into, the next game and everything else in the league. I think it's one mistake, and he made some phenomenal saves apart from that. And I also didn't look too troubled. So sometimes when you're not troubled, you're prone to a mistake. And also the way that we play is opening us up. But the one difference between now and what we've seen in the past 3, 4, probably 5 seasons is if we concede a goal, our heads don't drop. We actually seem more dangerous when we concede because we go hell for leather at making sure that we're, going to be in the game, going out to try and score those goals. And then the last pointer, yes, we were outstanding in the last 10, 15 minutes of the game, but we were against 10 men. Nobody's mentioned that. When they had 11 on the field, we did find it hard to break them down. That's going to happen with every team. But once we got down to that 10, that team, that they couldn't stick with us. And that showed from the point of when they conceded the second goal, their heads just dropped. It was almost as though, oh my God, that's a cup final. We've just lost it. We're walking away with nothing. We're going to see more of that as the season goes by. But that's my rant over. I'm done.
I think some people that it's fine to have an opinion. From what you've seen so far, I don't think it's like that's it and that's final kind of thing. I mean, me personally, I don't like. Some of our defending, some of the goals we've conceded, obviously has been poor at times. And, it's hard to be negative at the moment with the way everything's going at the club. But you do have to say it as you see it as well from the football side of things. And I want to see more going forward. I want to see more, working the opposition goalkeeper more. And I believe that will come in time. And also the fact that we are winning, like you say, Craig, we are winning. I said it earlier as well. We are still winning when we're jellying and, we're not the finished article by any means, but we're still winning, and that's all that matters.
I don't think Paul. I'll take a single Wrexham player in our squad. I think we're better in every position.
Even name a single Wrexham.
Why are we talking about Wrexham? Who I'm not being funny. Who are they? I'm not being funny, but I know who they are, but. All of a sudden, we're comparing ourselves to different teams. We're Birmingham City, isn't that who we care about? We haven't lost apart from against a 900 appearance Premier League team, and even then we gave them a run for the money. I don't even know why we're giving him airtime because we just every week he seems to put something negative on. We should be positive. Got 10 points out of 12. It's not going to be a walkover. We're not going to beat every team 4 or 5-0. It's simple as that. Man City still don't do it. Look at their squad. A good team is a team that wins even if they're not playing great. Yeah. And do you know what? The amount of losses we've had, the amount of rubbish we've seen, this football is a million times better. We're actually winning. We're playing well. Nobody's moaning about anything. I don't hear about any other team. I don't care what Wrexham are doing. I don't care what Stockport are doing. I care about what Birmingham City are doing and our results that we get. And the fact that we've got a game tomorrow and then we've got, is it 10 days till our next game? 10 days. Yeah. Think about what we could do in 10 days, considering you've got a few of them going away, but the bulk of the squad are staying.
No. Yeah, well...
I'll tell you what I do far too often. I watch videos from, and I watched the video from when we were promoted to the Premiership first time, and I watched the video from Barry Fry's. And one of the things that you notice watching the whole season, first of all, you forget who played in the first half a dozen games, and then Barry Fry or Trevor Francis decided, no, I don't want these, I want some more. And you get to the end of the season and your team's unrecognisable from the one that started. Now, that is because that during the season there were failures, right? Certain people didn't cut the mustard. So Barry Fry, they'd gone before they knew it. Until he got a side in the last third of the season, which was gelled, and it took as long as that to actually get that team to work as a unit because it kept changing so much. Now we are getting close to that in the first third of the season, not the last third. So by the time we get through to Christmas time, and all these teams that we've played now, like Wigan, for a good example of Wigan, when we go to their place and it's January and they're still down the bottom, and the manager says they were brilliant on Saturday. Well, they were all right. They were the best team, he said, and so did the Leyton Orient manager said. But when a return match comes, and they're still down the bottom, and they're looking at the fixture card and they think, "Oh, sugar lumps, we're going to play Birmingham this week. We couldn't beat Burton Albion last week. Now we've got to play Birmingham, and it will be a different that desire that they've got at the moment because they're all fresh. When they get to the middle of the season and they've got to play us, even if it's a very different side by then, they're not going to put up the same kind of resistance as they did, because they've shot the bolt. You know, we've done our best. We're still in the bottom half of the table, and now we've got to play Birmingham. What chance have we got? You know, it's going to be completely different in 6 months' time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're going to be joined shortly by Carl Newton, I believe, Chris, aren't we?
Yeah, a couple of minutes' time. Yeah, he's going to talk about his book. Yep.
Yeah, he's coming on to talk about his new book. So we look forward to Carl joining us shortly. But yeah, you know, we've pretty much covered that well, haven't we? Both games from last week and the transfer window, and you know, full credit to Craig and you know, obviously Gary Cook and everyone in the club that's worked tirelessly to get us to where we are on and off the field. You know, they've done a brilliant job, and you know, it's only going to continue as well, isn't it, as we go along. Also, congratulations to Alfie May, first player, I believe, in how many years was it to score in our first 4 games?
68, wasn't it?
I think I saw that, wasn't it?
68, I think.
Who was the last person to do that, Craig?
Alan Watson.
Yeah, Alan, you'll be the person to tell us who was the last person to do it.
I've no idea. I can't think of a.
Come on, 68 years ago, Al, you'd have been about 25.
Oh, you're brave at the end of the phone.
I'm only joking, Al.
I just cut. I mean, even the Latchfords and the Francises never did that. Bob Hatton never did that. Who else was? I mean, I'll go back far back as Ken Leake. Ken Leake, probably no. You know, because we never had a good enough. We never had a good enough team to score in every one of the first 4 games, let alone a single person to score in every one of the first 4. You know,
Carol Sutherland, Alex Govan apparently in 1956. That's
Alex Govan.
Alex Govan. Yeah.
Alex Govan in 1956. Yeah,
well, he's also the last person to score a hat trick for us in the FA Cup. Well, if we don't get one against a non-league side in November, find one of these blokes to score a hat trick, then we really are good. But you know, that's a good measure of how far we come. Because, you know, we're probably talking Alex Govan, who was in arguably the best side that Birmingham have ever had. And you know, a bloke scored 4 goals in first 4 games. You know, and it ain't happened since, because we haven't had a side of that calibre in any division to do that. I mean, we when Alex Govan got his hat-trick, we beat Southend 7-1 in the 3rd round of the Cup. Now, we haven't beaten anybody by 3 or 4. Wigan, funny enough, we beat them 4-0. I can't remember an FA Cup tie where we've got 4 or 5 goals since 1956. So, you know, we're talking. I mean, we've already said it, really. We're on a different planet all of a sudden. And it for me personally, it's taken me a lot to take in. I watched the game Saturday and I'm thinking, well, we ain't going to lose to this lot.
No,
there's no chance, not a chance. And this tippy-tap football at the start of the game, 3 passes, boom, and we got one of the wingers steaming down the touchline, and we're 3/4 of the way down the field instead of still 30 yards from goal. It's suddenly we've got out of that habit straight away. Bang, 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 and away we go. Whereas against Orient, the week before, there was too many passes, and you know we break free of the block. We're still another 25, 30 yards to go in our own half. Whereas on Saturday we were away, and I mean there was a period before half time where they couldn't get the ball out of their own half. They just kept clearing it, and it kept coming back to, and another attack build up. Again, we don't really need to criticise, but I just wish the wide people would improve their delivery. And I think with the addition of the new bloke, because to me he looked like a young Djukovic, big bloke, 1 ball's in the air. I think with the addition to him, and obviously with Stansfield's pace, that's another thing. we've still got doing that. Poor little Alfie, he's on his own in that box very often, and I try to get the ball to him, and he's surrounded. And against Fulham, the difference from a Premier League defence and a League One defence was noticeable. You know, we did create a couple of chances, but that was hard work because the back four of Fulham were a bit more nous. You know, they knew what we were going to do, and we keep Alfie quiet, then they ain't going to score. And that's basically what happened. They stopped the ball coming in, and when it did come in, there's three blokes on one. But as I say, we're dining at a different table these days, and it's great. I'm loving it. I mean, I love Friday. I stepped up and I replayed. I got it on record, and I kept replaying the song when it said Birmingham Science Stansfield. I kept looking at it. I was like, I'm going to wake up in a minute, and it's not going to be there.
Yeah, unbelievable, really. And it's not that long ago when we were shopping in the bottom of a skip for the scraps of whatever was left, you know, and now we're at the top table, aren't we? Like, you know, spending more money, and, you know, it's unbelievable, really, when you think about it. But
and I also think we've done well with getting people out. You know, the younger players have gone to good loan places. We've got Roberts out the door. Nothing against him, but he ain't going to get in this team, is he? And we've got him.
Yeah, all the best to him and Koji Miyoshi. I thought Koji
Miyoshi. Yeah.
For us, and Bakuna as well went, didn't he? As well.
JJ, we haven't batted an eyelid about JJ. We said it the other week that we haven't, you know, good luck to him, but you know.
Let's look at it. We've made money on every player that we've let go as well.
Yeah,
Miyoshi may have gone for less than $1 million. But what does it matter? You know, I don't think we paid for him. I think we got him on a free, if I remember rightly. You know, we've got the salaries off the books as well, and I do wish them all the best. You know, it's unfortunate they just weren't. They were square pegs in a round hole, and they wouldn't have fit into the team. Roberts, for me, he's lacking a severe amount of confidence. I think if he was more confident about himself and actually that potential of getting over all these different injuries, then we would see a different player out of him, and perhaps he would have had a chance, but not at the moment.
But this is about Craig, you know, with Roberts, George Hall, and Donovan, still all our players, right? They've gone out to get experience. We want them back. We've got them, so that's a nice thing as well.
Yeah, definitely. Daniel Rowan there, JJ didn't get in, and we got the dollar, and that's absolutely right. He didn't get in. He didn't get in under Rowett towards the end of last season. I know he played a lot of pre-season for us, but does he get in this team now if he's still here? Who does he come in for if he does? Because I don't think he does.
I don't think he does, no.
No.
So, but yeah, good luck to everyone anyway who's left the club, and we move forward with this new squad, and I'm excited about it. I think we've got a lot of players there. A lot of quality, and that brings me on to Willem Williamson. I want to talk about for a minute, Claire. What are your thoughts on him? I thought the through ball for May's goal was a great pass, but I thought he had an overall good game Saturday, didn't he?
Yeah, I think the last few games he's played quite well. I think he's somebody that needs time to settle in. Different country. I just got that feeling that he needs probably. I'll give him another 5 games till we actually see what he's really, really about. He did get that injury quite early on as well, didn't he, at Wickham? So I just think, you know, he scored a few goals. He knows where the pass is. I mean, it was a perfect pass, perfect weighted. When he seems to have the ball, he seems to have loads of space whenever he seems to have the ball. So I think we need to utilise him a bit more with his height as well. I think we do need to get the ball into the box and see what he can do with his head.
Yeah.
I think him and Dykes up front was quite a good combination against Wigan. Get the ball into the box. I think it's kind of proven that when we do get the ball into the box, anything can happen. I know that he did the back heel, but he was just bouncing everywhere. I think we just need to do it more often. But he seems like a good player. I haven't seen enough of him yet to say, wow, look at him, like compared to Pate and others. Yeah. But I just think I think give him a few more games, really settle in, and then we'll see what he's made of.
Yeah. I believe we're now joined by Carl Newton, Chris, are we?
Yeah, you there, Carl? You there, Carl?
Good evening all.
Good evening.
How you doing,
Another great show as always, guys.
Thank you. We agree.
So, you're coming on to talk about your new book, mate.
Yes, so it came out today. It's on Amazon. I think Chris has got the link as well if he wants to put it in the chat or something. Yeah. I started writing it about the turn of the year, and it is about a guy who is an expert on Football Manager games, and when his local club dismissed their manager in the midst of a relegation battle, kind of for a joke and a little diddly, he applies for the job. Little does he know he's going to meet an absolute lunatic of a chairman who actually gives him the job. And obviously, because that's not the done thing, the media, the players, the fans, none of them are having it. And it's a rocky ride. And it's a case of 4 games left, 3 points from safety. Here goes the coaster of a ride.
Is that Will Still, Carl?
It's Will Still's done it in real life, but it's based off a short story I wrote years ago at college. In the midst of spending too many youthful hours playing Football Manager and thinking I could do a better job down the blues than some of the people we've had over the years.
Didn't we all?
I'm still all over Championship Manager 0102, mate. That's the greatest game ever known to man in history. And ever. And you can get that now as well on a website with today's players. And it's just, honestly, it got me through COVID, that did.
I've seen it. I've been having a little play with the original squads on there, like the Barry Fridays and the TF days and some of the lads we had back then. It's really nostalgic.
Am I right in thinking this is your first book, Carl?
It is debut novel, novel. And It was weird. It was weird in a way because I was in the middle of writing it while we were in our own relegation battle at the end of last season, and it was a little bit of I couldn't escape relegation worries, both on paper, on my computer, and in reality going down the blues as well.
Right.
Yeah, and where do we actually get this book from, Carl? Where's it on sale so people can
It's on Amazon. It's on Amazon, paperback and Kindle, I believe.
Okay, and what's it called?
And it's called Game Changer: From Pixels to Pictures.
Like it.
Okay, I've seen the cover. It looks really good.
Yeah, and there are a few subtle nods to real life as well. Like most of my family and friend members have got a name drop in there. There's also a fan phone-in show that the manager takes part in, and the lead on that he's called Chris. And then there's also the head of recruitment at the football club in the second book that I've started writing. He's called Mr. Craig. There's a little nod to guards more than anything. I can't.
But you Craig Courtney was nodding then.
Well, you know what I mean? I'm just thinking head of recruitment. What can I say?
He was bellied up.
You're going to have to watch it. You'll have Stephen Knight wanting to make a film of it next, Carl.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you what, I'd love that. I don't know who played the manager, but yeah, I'd love it. But no, I've obviously been quite forward on social media. That I think Craig Gardner's done a wonderful job this summer, and I can't imagine the amount of hours his phone's clocked up this summer. So kudos to him.
Absolutely, yeah. And give us your thoughts on obviously it's pinch yourself time to be a Blues fan right now, and give us your I've been listening from the start tonight, and I sort of want to echo a lot of what you guys are saying. We're not going to see the fruits of the labour, I don't think, till about October or November. It takes time for lads to gel and for Davis to ultimately fall upon probably his first 11, but we've also got a really good second 11, and I don't think there's any hiding places in this squad now. I think in the last few seasons there's maybe been a few lads that have been stealing a wage because they've played and there's not really been anybody to come in for them. You've looked at players and you thought they're awful, but who on earth is there to come in for them? Whereas now there's a strong 22, so if you're not bringing an 8, 9, 10 out of 10 every week, you ain't going to get inside. And I think that's the problem that Sanderson might have at the minute, because 2 at the back at the minute, superb. You've also got Davis we bought in for Rangers, so that probably puts Sanderson in 4th. Yeah. So unless he starts upping his levels on the training field, he ain't going to find it easy to get back in. No, not at all. Right. Yeah, no, definitely. And you're still obviously doing the photography as well, mate?
Bits, not as much, but bits. Yeah, I got up to Champions League level before I took a sabbatical, and I'm looking to go back in at some point later this year. Now that book one's finished and book two's slowly cooking along.
Is this a career? Is this a career you want to pursue, Carl? Or
is it what? Sorry,
is this a career that you'd like to pursue?
I don't see why not. It came around because I've always wanted to be an author, and I've turned 40 this year, and I thought I need to do a load of things that I've always wanted to do. So I got it done, and there is probably a series of 3 within this story. So I suppose I'll probably get them out and then kind of see where we're at after that. There might be more, there might be less. Who knows?
Excellent, excellent.
Another point I want
to, good luck, mate.
Yeah, another point I want to echo that you guys have a few episodes back. Miss Giblin mentioned about us doing the Invincibles. I reckon we're in with a shout at that this season, you know. I reckon we could do it. There might be a few draws in there, but I don't reckon once we've gelled with this 11-22 we've got, that there's many teams out there that'll beat us.
20-1 we are, 20-1. You like a good bet?
I'll have a go on that. Also, I want to see us do the Barry Fry double. I'd love to see us get to Wembley, the Bristol Street.
Yeah.
Treble.
And at the end of the season, when we're getting promotion secure, go and have a nice big party down at Wembley. That would be absolutely beautiful.
Would be fantastic.
That'd be lovely.
Fantastic.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right, Carl. Well, thanks for coming on, mate, and good luck with the book.
Thanks for having me. It's always lovely to talk to you guys, and I said I listen every week, so yeah.
Well done.
Keep good luck, and keep going. Keep doing the good work.
Put the link on Amazon to your book as well, mate, on the chat, on our group.
So. On the group as well, on the group.
Very much appreciated.
Yeah. Cheers, Carl.
Mate.
Cheers, Carl. Keep right on, guys.
Cheers, bye. Cheers, bye. Oops.
Yeah, so I believe you've got a Who for us, haven't you, this week again?
I certainly have.
So nobody in the room knows who this is, do we? There's only you here, Chris, that knows who this is, I believe. Is that right?
That's true, yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
It's very, very short, okay? To make it a bit harder. If you do know in the studio, you lot know, keep it quiet and let's see if our audience know.
We'll let the viewers have a go.
Okay. I know some people here will know it straight away, but and it has been a previous guest. He has been a previous guest. Here we go.
I don't know if he was trying to get me out.
That's all you're getting.
Okay. Yeah, I think I know.
I couldn't hear that.
Oh, God. Okay, I'll make it later.
I think I might know.
Here we go.
Yeah, I know.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was trying to get me out.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Any idea, Claire? Yeah. Do you want it again?
One more time.
I think I know who it is.
Okay.
We can't tell you that, Claire.
Okay. Right. I'm not going to do it again.
Ian Clayton has said Michael Morrison.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
Fraser Higgins has said Darren Percy. I think Graham Haynes has got it.
No, he hasn't.
Has he not?
No.
Oh, you beat Paul. Yes.
Wow.
You beat the Messiah.
Fraser Higgins has got it then.
Somebody, PW on YouTube has got it as well. There we go. Who?
Okay.
No, Fraser hasn't got it.
Has he not?
No, he hasn't. A chap on PW on YouTube has got it though. But I'll let it run on Facebook for a bit.
Okay.
Wow, I thought you'd get this straight away, Paul.
No, it sounded just like Roger Johnson to me. I thought it was Roger.
Yeah, especially after we'd been talking about this certain chap.
Yeah.
I think it was. Is it one of the ex-managers?
Nope.
So at the moment, it's YouTube 1, Facebook 0 at the moment.
It is, yeah. Come on, YouTube. Little go down
Marius has said, is it Scott Dans?
Nope.
He's a Scouser, isn't
he? Yeah. Nobody on Facebook has got it.
Oh, well, I was wrong then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Want to play it once more for Facebook?
Okay, then for Facebook.
You go on YouTube.
Here we go.
I don't know if he was trying to get me out.
See, if I let it run a little bit longer, you'd get it straight away. So,
I'll give a clue. I mentioned his name in the show earlier.
Well done, Paul. Well done.
Wow.
I'll give another clue. Woo-hoo!
Oh, great. I got him. I got him.
There we go. Anthony Lloyd has got him.
I got it.
Hang on. There we go. It was indeed Martin Granger. Well done, PW and the Martin Granger and Anthony Lloyd. Well done.
Lloyd, yeah, well done.
Oh, yeah.
You just gave the answer away, Chris. You said it's Chuko.
I'm hoping.
I thought it was Thomas the Tank Engine.
I was trying to think of a player called Ringo.
We're hoping he'll get his second cap soon as well with us, Martin Granger, his second appearance on the show at some point as well this season, very soon. So that's what I'm going to say at the moment. But yeah, we'll see what happens in week.
I was going to say hat-trick appeappeance.
It's his hat-trick appearance.
Oh, okay. Was he on the phone? On the phone though, wasn't he? The first time.
Yeah.
So that's not. Is that an appearance if you're on the phone?
Oh, I think so. Yeah. It's 1 star.
Okay.
Hey, Paul, just going away from Blues a second, can we just thoughts with the family of Sol Bamba? Because that was a shock yesterday to hear that one.
Absolutely, yeah.
39 years old.
39.
Yeah, seemed a great guy as well.
I just always think about the Arlie Dean song, and that's how I know. That's how I know Sol Bamba, you know. But
yeah.
You know, for I know he's got away from playing. He's now a manager, but it's just a shock at that age. It's not, and then a young family as well. So thoughts with everybody connected with Sol for sure.
Absolutely, 100% echo that, Mark. Yeah, thanks for that. He is on my list actually. I was going to bring it up in a bit, but yeah, thanks for that, mate. And yeah, condolences to his friends and family.
So tomorrow night there as well. Sorry, Paul. Just before we go into tomorrow night, whilst we're on the subject of competitions, so it was announced on Facebook the other day. There's a bit of a competition this evening. So for those people that have listened to the away end, question for you all, and please, message me direct or put on the message board what you think the answer is. But I want to know, Wigan Athletic as a football club owe Birmingham City a massive debt of gratitude. So you're going to know the answer, so you can't shout it out. But I want to know.
I mentioned the game earlier on when we played Wigan and beat them 4-0.
Did indeed. So I want to know why do Wigan Athletic owe Birmingham a massive debt of gratitude, and why do they love our club so much? So I'll keep an eye on the message board, but also if you want to message me direct, and then we'll choose a winner at the end of the show.
Is it because we sold them Emil Heskett?
Or Mario Melchior?
Bruce.
Or Daniel Derrida?
Keep them coming. There's a lot more than them.
You could put a good side together, actually, couldn't you? Blues and Wigan players.
Phenomenal side.
Bruce is the manager.
Horsfield up front with Heskett.
Heskett.
Yeah. Mickey Eden right back, probably.
Eden.
Yeah. There you go. Is this a new topic now? Are we moving on to this? Or?
Do some Wigan players.
Can I tell you a fun fact about Emil Heskey and Wigan?
Go on then.
Emil Heskey scored more goals for us than he did, or more goals per game for us than any other team he ever played for.
Really?
He made exactly 0 appearances for England while he was with us. And the week after he went to Wigan, he was back in the England squad.
Is that right?
Explain that to me.
That's unreal.
Wow.
Adam
Bruce as manager.
Oh, yeah.
Who was the last Blues player to get an England cap when they were at Blues? I mean, I was thinking it might be Upson, but I'm not sure.
Upson, yeah.
Upson, yeah. Got to be Upson, isn't it?
I don't know, because wasn't Jack Buckland called up as well?
I'd say
Jack Buckland, that's before he made his debut, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Jack Buckland played in the Olympics and then played for England.
Played against Italy, didn't they?
What year was the Euros in Poland and Ukraine?
2012. 2012, wasn't it?
2012. Well, that was the one. That was when Butland was in that squad, and he played a game, 2 or 3 games before and after that. So that would be 2012.
think it was Jack.
Claire Lou's got it right. I think was it Foster.
Ben Foster.
Foster?
Was it?
Yeah.
I want to say it was Butland against Spain in. Didn't he play his debut or something? I don't know.
He played.
Yeah. It's a good question, isn't it?
Italy, sorry, Alan. Yeah.
Joe Hart says Michael Woods.
If anyone can get that answer for sure, then I'd appreciate it because it's a pretty good question, isn't it? That I've just thought of on the spot there.
Ashley Cole. Ashley Cole.
Ashley Cole. Yeah. I wish he would have played for us. Yeah.
Butland came after Joe Hart, didn't he?
Adam wants to know, anyone remember who our Premier League player was that used to be a bin man?
Pandiani.
I feel I should know this.
Was Pandiani, wasn't it?
Pandiani with his truck.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was, yeah.
Pandiani, yeah.
Well done, Robe.
I think
If that's right.
it's saying, and it was Jack Butland in 2012, and it was Foster in 10, Matthew Upson in 2004, and then Francis was the one before that, Trevor Francis.
Because Matthew Upson was the first player to be called up When It Blues for years. When was it like Trevor Francis before him?
Yeah, 1978, Trevor Francis, and then 2004 for Upson.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah. Good luck to Lee Carsley, by the way, on Saturday against the Republic of Ireland. His first game as interim manager.
And Ashley Cole.
Ashley Cole is his number 2, yeah.
And Ashley Cole is his number 2, absolutely, yeah.
Big Blues connection.
Yeah, definitely. Be interesting to see if he gets it full time. We'll see.
I'm still to see anybody answer the question, but one thing that I can confirm is that to our actor friend out in America, no, a Brummie didn't build Wigan Pier.
That wasn't me.
No. Let's come on to tomorrow then. So obviously Walsall at home. Who's going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do we think the gate's going to be for that?
Only the cop's open. I'll be moved to club class.
Thousands.
I've got a clue where I'm sitting.
Hip cheesy seat.
Yeah.
What do we reckon?
Stansfield will bring a few in, I would have thought, because he ain't going to play for another 2 weeks.
No, that's right. No, I think we'll see changes, and obviously, he'll give the likes of probably Lyndon Dykes a run up front, and he might play Luke Harris off him in the 10 maybe with who's going to be on the wings. I mean, obviously Anderson's injured, isn't he? You might see Yokoyama. He impressed me.
Yeah, I think you'll play him.
Yeah, he impressed me on Saturday, by the way, he did. I thought he was really good when he come on.
I don't know whether he's more of an impact player, though. I think as a sub, I think he's a brilliant sub. And sometimes as a footballer, it's sometimes better to be like a super sub. I don't know whether he kind of, at the moment, is fitting in that category if you would start him.
Yeah. Scott Wright on the right. Scott Wright will start on the right. Right on the right.
I'll give Taylor a start.
Yeah, it'll be right on the right on the night.
And then I'd have down on the left to cut in.
Yeah. We'll have, I think you might give the Celtic lad might start in midfield alongside. I don't know if he's going to make wholesale changes or leave 3 or 4 first teamers in there.
I think he'll bring everybody. I mean, he hasn't got the 2 Icelanders to start with, so he'll have to replace. I think Kaylor will play right back if.
He'll have to, wouldn't he? Because he got nobody else right now with the international.
You'd imagine also.
Yeah, Cochrane will play left back.
He's got no real centre backs he can change either right now with everyone else injured, has he? So he's going to have to be.
Play Davis. Would you bring Davis in?
Oh, Davis could play. Yes. Yeah.
And if Sanderson's ready, would you play him and rest Bilic, maybe? But the thing is, we have got 10 days, so it just depends how much he wants to go for it, doesn't it?
Allsop will start, won't he? I think it's a dead cert.
Yeah,
well, Peacock's an international break anyway, so he has to start.
Yeah.
Peacock fouls with the Northern Ireland, isn't he, in international?
Pate could gone. Has Pate gone on the international?
Yeah, he's gone as well.
So... It's a good chance, actually, a good opportunity to get some of the other players in and around and see what they can do, kind of show, if these players are out, this is what we can do.
Yeah. It's a great bench.
Yeah. I've never known.
So, there's just been a snippet, actually, released by the club as we were talking, weirdly talking about players for tomorrow night, and Chris Davies has made a point of saying, both Jay and Smokey will play tomorrow night, and they're both all looking forward to seeing them as part of the team. So, there you go. We're definitely going to see those two tomorrow.
So that's a ticket seller, isn't it?
That's one of the Knicks is probably going.
Seats.
Who was the other player you said, Craig? Jay and who?
Smokey, the guy from Celtic.
Celtic. Yeah.
Right.
Smokey.
Okay. Is that his nickname or something?
Smoke.
That's his real name.
Smokey from Celtic.
But I think Dykes is away with Dykes is away with Scotland as well, I think, and so Duke might have to play, mightn't he? Unless he plays Stansfield centre forward.
Oh, Smokey, not the way you said it, Craig. I thought you said Smokey, as in Smokey and the Bandit.
Can we just call him Smokey now? It just sounds better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just call him Smokey from now on. It's easier to pronounce.
Yeah.
His real name is Gary.
Do you know, though, the amount of Celtic fans that have gone mental over the fact that he's left the club?
Yeah, wasn't he player of the season last year? He was player of the season, wasn't he? Yeah.
I think it'll be a good game tomorrow. I think it'll be quite open. They're going to go for it. It's like a local derby to them, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Sadler's going to want to put one over, isn't he?
Charlie Lakin will play, won't he? And obviously Sadler's the manager. I don't think they won't let Hall play, will they? Because of it being
No.
I don't even know it works anymore. It's been 30 years. So are we in like a little league with them, are we?
Yeah, league.
It's us.
So we've got Walsall at home. Then we've then got Shrewsbury away, and then Fulham under 21s at home. I think, is it just one of us goes out this little group and then we all play each other or something?
Like a round of 16, isn't it? I think.
It's got to be Wembley, and it's got to be Wembley. Got to be.
Yeah,
we've got to go for it. Otherwise, be absolutely
daft. Team, innit?
Yeah.
We're the best team in there, if you think about it. Because is it only League One and League Two?
Yeah.
Yeah, only under 21s that get selected.
League under 21s, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's like us. It's like we're the Man City of it.
We'll play Villa under 21s in the final, won't we?
Oh, imagine.
Imagine 90,000 for us against.
I don't think
they'll bring all their players down for that game.
I don't think an under 21 side has ever got very, very far in this.
They don't do very well, do they?
Chelsea got to the semi-final about 5 years ago.
Who?
Chelsea. They got beat by Lincoln.
Is that right?
Just wouldn't work, would it, in the final? Wouldn't work.
Mind you, Villa Villa under 21s would be in the southern section like us.
Wow, can you start
They're in the north.
They're in the northern section.
Yeah, but north up this way.
So the typical
Coventry, mate, you're nowhere.
Huh? So what's
Whose
that?
house you in?
Let's come on to predictions for tomorrow. I'll start with 2-0 Blues. Fair?
3-0.
Mark Meredith.
I'm going for 6 and Chris to be naked next week. Next time we do the show.
Craig?
Not that I'm wanting that. That's just what I'm going.
Why was she smiling so much as you said it?
Yes.
I do worry about you sometimes, Mark.
I was imagining it in my head. That was all.
Oh no, you won't be able to get that out of your mind.
Can you imagine your celebration, Chris, if we're 6-0 up with about a minute to go and Walsall score? You'll be,
He'll be running around naked tomorrow night.
I'll be running around with the thong.
With his knife fronts,
I'm going to go for a 3-0, going back into that, by the way.
Okay, Mark, Adams?
I'm going to go for a 4-0.
Okay.
4-0 Blues. It could be the Terps talking as I'm drinking.
The state has to put water in that squash, mate.
Oh dear.
Alan?
Go on, Alan.
Well, the thought of the production manager being naked put me off completely. So I'll go for 5.
Okay. Okay, and then we hit the post in the last minute to make it 6, Chris. You're going to be sweating.
Yeah, no. Come on, I'm going to go for it. 7-0.
Yeah.
We've got Mike Hill saying 3-1 Blues. Pete Taylor 4-0 with a Stansfield hat-trick. Paul Sterndale's going 4-0 as well. Jason Hughes 3-1 Blues. Nigel Mann is having a laughing face, and I think he might have been drinking the same terps as Mark Adams because he said we're also going to hammer us 6-0. Daniel Ruan has said it'll be a 3-2 dogfight. Richard Hayler, please stop it. It's bad visual. 3-0 Blues from Paul McCarthy. And just for clarity, Wayne Linden's just confirmed that the top 2 out of the group go into the last 32. If the game is drawn and there is a penalty shootout, the team that wins gets an extra point, and that team then loses on penalty, get 1 point from the 90 minutes. So it's a bit of a strange one in terms of the setup of how it works.
They win 2 points altogether, a draw and a penalty win.
Yeah.
All right, so it could go to pens tomorrow.
Yep.
Right.
No.
Ray Cornish is saying 2-0 Blues. Trevor John Smith said it was great speaking to Ashley Cole, Pep Clotet and Tom Ross on Saturday down at the Blues. I think Pep Clotet was talking sensibly.
Yeah. We'll come on to the selfie stalker there, Mark Adams.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mark, did you see me defending you this evening on Twitter with your picture of?
Yes.
And I said you don't seek these celebrities out; they seek you. Where's
the thing is, Pep's not been seen since Saturday at 5. So
what did he say to you? How are you doing, Robe? Is that what he said?
Yeah, no, that's Italian.
How's the show? He does the show, didn't he, Robe?
Yeah, he does. He said him and Jude are always watching it, chuckling about us.
You mean laughing at you rather than with you? That's what you mean, yeah.
I think he'd had a few sherries. Put it that way. He's been in the rooster all morning, apparently.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah. Fair play.
Yeah. But, he's still in there.
Yeah, he's still in there. Yeah.
I enjoyed some of the flair play under him. Lots of Fran Bialba. Was it Bialba? That's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
He's on the robe stairs.
Yeah. There you go.
Got a collection of them.
He's been back to a few games, hasn't he? Pep as well.
Yeah, Pep likes
it. Doesn't he still have a flat in Moseley?
I don't know.
I think he's still got his flat in Moseley.
You're definitely a stalker, you are, though.
Yeah.
That's what he's done. He's collared him outside the ground and gone, I know you live in Moseley. You better give me a picture, otherwise I'm going to come and get your stuff. That's what it is.
Do you drink in the fighting cooks?
Are you in his bedroom there, Mark?
It'd be funny. He just walks past the window. It'd be funny, wouldn't he?
If you hear a weird thumping noise in the wardrobe,
I'll let me out. Don't let me out.
Don't worry, Pep. We can hear you. We'll come and save you. Don't worry.
It's gonna be a 6-0.
That's Italian. Where did that come from?
I can't do Spanish. No, I'm trying to do an Italian Spanish bloke in a wardrobe. It's gonna be a 6-0.
I want you to keep hold of what I'm about to say now, Chris. I want you to keep hold of it so we can look back on it in hopefully 8 years.
Okay.
When we're obviously in the new stadium in 8 years' time and Jude Bellingham's 29, he would have won everything there is to win at Real Madrid. He already has won everything there is to win at Real Madrid, but he would have done it God knows how many times over. Do you think there's a chance he might come back there when he's, in the new stadium and all that? If we're in the Prem and we're doing well, by then.
That's going to be all down to money, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll come back. 33, he'll be back.
I think he will.
You reckon it'll be that long?
Yeah. They always come back, don't they?
Yeah, let him win all he can at Real Madrid. He'll be about 30 odd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, imagine.
And he'll come back as England captain as well. There you go, Paul. Let's add that in there as well.
And then he's going to have so much money that then he'll put in for 15% stake.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh, keep that one.
Yeah, definitely. When are we back, Chris, after tonight? I know, obviously, there's no show next week, is there, because it's international break?
Okay, so...
there's Wrexham the week after on the Monday.
Monday,
Tuesday or Wednesday that week.
Yeah, so trying to work it so it's on the Tuesday or the Wednesday, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah. So we can do.
Yeah.
We'll be back either Tuesday the 17th then or Wednesday the 18th. Yeah.
Jason Hughes has said he's been checking on Facebook, and for some strange reason, Pep's profile picture has changed, and he's now seeing him wear a blue robe.
What did he say to you anyway, Rob? What did he say to you? And did he say anything to you?
He doesn't know. He can't.
To be honest, Paul, he was so well. He was bladdered. He was. I think two young ladies had a picture with him, and he said, "Oh, this has made my day," and he seemed quite chuffed.
Oh, so he's a
What did he say when he had a picture of you?
And he went, "Maybe the day's not so good after all."
You've been in the roost since at least 12.
I know. Funnily enough, my cousin and his wife were in the roost as well, and they saw him earlier on, and they said, "Yeah."
They were putting tape up outside that box-to-box box. It was that brand. They were stopping people going in there because everybody was like, it was that busy in there. And this was at about 20 past 2. It was just absolutely heaving in there.
That's where everyone will be when it's cold and raining.
Yeah.
That's right.
So Pete Taylor has said that Bellingham will be back on a free after an expired contract after he has lifted the Euros and the World Cup as England captain and won his 4th Ballon d'Or.
Wow.
Yeah, he can come back whenever he likes.
Yeah.
Play with Laird.
Oh, Richard Hayler, that's got a movie written all over it. Bellingham comes back as manager and Blues win the Champions League.
Wow.
Oh, God, yeah. That would be good, wouldn't it?
Do you reckon Jude will come back this season to watch?
Don't know.
Can't see why not.
Oh, I'm going to tell you if he does.
No.
Why are you going to put him?
I'm coming back. I'm coming back this season, Robe.
You're not going to watch him, though, are you?
You're going to put him up, bro.
I can't keep playing internationals. It's killing me.
And as soon as I found out you were coming back, Mark, they've said, "Oh, we need to call that game off now and get back to
I'll have to go to Lincoln with Claire instead.
Do you think we could have played the game though? I do. I think we still could have played it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you want your best.
We have enough players, but
I know it's just a shame.
Still want your best player.
We are there. We are Claire. We are there, then, Paul.
it's 9 o'clock.
It's 9 o'clock. I've got to find my whistle. I have as well.
So that is the final whistle. That is the end of the show for another week until the 17th or 18th of September. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We've been the Tilton Talk Show. I've been Paul Hickis. It's good night from me and it's good night from Claire Giblin.
It's a good night from me and it's good night from Mark Meredith.
Good night from me and it's a good night from Craig Courtney.
It's good night from me and it's a good night from the chairman. And I will say nobody yet has got the right answer to the competition.
Oh, plus.
Please send your details through if you can think of the answer.
What competition?
I'll publish later. So if you don't listen, do you?
Have we had the show tonight yet?
Don't tell them the answer.
You can
tell them at the end, Chairman. There you go.
Who's left? Chris.
I don't know.
Good night, everybody, and it's a good night from Chris, I hope.
Good night, everybody, and I think it's a good night from Robe.
Good night, everyone, and good night, everyone. I'll say good night on my own. Look after yourselves. Have a good week. Hopefully we'll, get on the road to Wembley tomorrow. Nice comfy win.
Someone pulling up on the drive, Mark. I see the lights.
The blue ones.
The flashing Mark. It's time to run.
Good night, John boy.
Good night there, Billy Bob.
Mark. You can do.
No. I was going to say, if anyone fancies a chat tomorrow, I'll be fingerless gloves and under the railway bridge and come over.
Are you going to the game tomorrow, Robe?
Yeah, I am. Well, I haven't.
Being played in Coventry, Robe, have you been told?
Huh?
Being played in Coventry,
9:30 kick-off.
Possibly.
I know, it's a good night from Cole Newton as well.
Oh, yes, good night from Cole.
Oh, yeah, Cole.
What's the competition?
It's good night from Dave as well, from Nigel, man.
Oh, there you go, Dave. Good night, Dave. All right, Dave.
Everyone getting in the spirit.
Daddy.
And it's a good night,
boy.
a good night from Harley Dean's Dogs as well. Do you remember that one when it came on?
Has anybody got Pep's number?
Yeah.
Pep's fine. He'll be fine.
He'll be fine.
I hope you're feeding him, Mark.
Yeah, he'll be back before you know it.
Drinking that Serbs doesn't mean you're a stripper, you know, Mark. Boom.
Got a safe one for tomorrow under the bridge.
And we are off.